going to bloody Everest Base Camp.
So we've had our first glimpse there of Everest.
It was a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. We're like, oh, it's a few walks every day. I'll eat a few Snickers bars. It'll be great.
That feels like a long way, mate, to be honest with you. What temperature is it outside?
Minus 20. Just a light minus 20.
The coldest anyone's ever done.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
Don't include that.
Let's break the record and do our own thing. Again, in gold catsuits, why not?
Oh my God, I just said goodbye to my children. That's a really full-on thing to do.
Right, just done the school run, so that's the training for Everest Base Camp done, all tucked in.
So in December 2014, my son Joe was born 9 weeks early, and like 85% of women, I didn't know I was even at risk of a premature birth, but he turned up early for the first and only time in his life, and yeah, he luckily, he's fine now, he's a very happy, healthy little boy, but we nearly lost him, and it was a really scary time, and of course lots of babies don't make it. I want to do anything I can to change that, to at least reduce that, to stop other people going through what we went through. So that's why I started supporting the Thorn charity. They do amazing life-saving research into the causes of premature birth and basically how to prevent it. It's really important work. So we thought, well, let's get some fundraising out of it while we're at it.
Right, we've done nearly 10.5k, we've walked about 4.5 hours. How are we doing?
Oh, I feel alive.
Hello lads, any chance of a lift? That's basically Uber, isn't it? That's the Uber equivalent of, well, in Nepal.
In the lead up to going, Ellie said, do not read anything about Everest. And I was like, okay, it'll be a surprise. You can actually see mountains. What are we, day 4?
Day 4, mate.
It feels like day 10. But I did read a little bit of books about people summiting. Apparently 1 in 10 die. So I was like, oh, that's not the odds that I like. No.
I thought, you know, because you're afraid of heights as well, I was like, I don't think she needs any more things to worry about at this point.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I'm severely afraid of heights. So those suspension bridges, woo-woo.
Okay, we're on the high suspension bridge. Are you okay?
I'm really good.
No, I'm really good. My voice could break. Thank God.
So good.
The hair just goes from strength to strength.
I don't know what's in it. Ellie was much more cleaner than I was. Generally
speaking.
I had many days I didn't change anything. I just kept layering it up like a babushka doll. So I couldn't smell myself. It was fine.
Talk about the look you've gone for this morning. Can we see the back view, please? Oh, that's very good, isn't it?
It became like, you know, the 5th member of the Beatles, my hair.
Yes.
So we're going to Namche Bazaar today, which is 4 hours uphill, up quite steep, mountain. And now we're here, and then we're going there, and we go across there. That feels like a long way, mate, to be honest with you. Okay, so we've had our first glimpse in there of Everest. Right, so now we're going to the base camp, not of Everest, but of Abu Dhabi. Yes, we're very excited.
It was a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. We're like, oh, it's a few walks every day. I'll eat a few Snickers bars. It'll be great. But actually, it was quite overwhelming, and we didn't realise if we were going to get altitude sickness or all those sort of things.
What the f is going on with your hair?
I gave myself a little head massage.
So we're at the base camp now, so these people in these tents are going to climb that. So to celebrate our arrival at the Abu Dhabi base camp, we're having everyone's favourite celebratory drink, hot lemon.
Lemon tang!
When we got to Namche Bazaar, which is the last sort of little town you go before you get proper into the remote bit, and the trek leader said that in 10 years of doing the trek, that was the first time it ever snowed like that, and it was unseasonably cold. And I quietly said to her, do you think we're actually going to make it to base camp? Are we going to? And she just went, I don't know, Ellie, but don't tell anyone else.
So we've made it into the cooking tent, which is the warmest tent in the building. It was amazing. KFC. What temperature is it outside?
Minus 20. Just a light minus 20.
Minus 20.
Apparently meant to be extra cold for this time of year.
Right. So it's record-breaking day. We're about to walk 3 hours up to Everest Base Camp. Excellent. We're going to break a record. We're going to do it. So we have begun the final hike to Everest Base Camp.
When we got to base camp, there was just this overwhelming sense of relief that we'd made it that far, and it was lovely to look at the actual Everest and the peak, and then it was lovely to know that we were going to get to go home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've got a problem. We've got to get 30 audience members to get the record and we're a few people down.
Our crowd, originally we were going to have a lot more English speakers, but what happened, Ellie, a couple of hours before we were about to attempt the record?
Well, they all got really severe altitude sickness and ended up being choppered out.
Looking at us like we're weirdos.
We're weirdos.
Yeah, but they're going to help us break a world record, aren't they?
It's the Scummy Mummies show!
Hey!
So yeah, quite a lot of them couldn't speak English and quite a lot of them could, but for obvious reasons didn't really understand what this was about. I mean, we barely did.
Who's worn the same clothes for 2 days?
Yay! I mean, lack of warmth and human connection. It's a bit like my ex-husband, isn't it, Ellie?
We're incredibly grateful to the audience who not only came to watch the show but stayed there. It was -15 and they all stood there and watched. You know, there was no chairs because it's Everest Base Camp.
Yeah.
We've tried to break a world record. Thank you for being a part of it. Oh my God.
We did it!
We just did it. We just did a
32
gig.
minutes.
We did 32 minutes. We had 32 people. So hopefully we've broken the record. We've got
So excited
So very good.
to be Guinness World Record holders. Oh, I'm literally clenching now. It might be the best thing we've ever done, to be honest.
So good.
Apart from having kids or whatever, I cannot stop telling people that we are Guinness World Record holders, but we don't care because we're very proud of ourselves.
I love certificates.